Hello everyone, and thank you for attending my session, Git Happens, or How to Fix Common Git Mistakes. My name is Liuba. I'm a .NET Cloud Native software developer and consultant working for Xibia Expert in the Netherlands. Today we will talk about the most popular distributed version control system Git, the mistakes or problems we make using Git, and how to fix them. During my development experience, I met a lot of engineers who adore Git and who hate it so much. And honestly, when I started my career, I was from the second group. For me, using Git was always a mess. I still remember a day when I spent 10 hours trying to integrate my changes into the master branch and spending a lot of time resolving merge hell. The next day, one of my colleagues introduced Git rebase to me, and it is still one of my favorite commands in Git. But not only resolving merge conflicts was a stressful moment for me. I still remember the days I had to copy the whole Git repo before running a random advice from Stack Overflow, just not to lose accidentally the whole my day work. And it took me a while to realize that I hate Git because I'm actually using it wrong. So today all my talk is about Git, Git problems, and the ways and commands how to resolve these problems without much pain. Before we start, I would like to refresh the knowledge about Git. So Git is a distributed open source version control system that enables you to store code, track revision history, merge code changes, and revert to earlier code version when needed. Git stores your source code and its full development history locally in a repository. You can create a copy of your source code, known as a branch, which you can then work on in parallel in the main version. When you're ready, you can commit changes to save progress, or you can merge your branch back into the main version. Every time you commit, Git takes care and takes a snapshot of your work and compares it to previous versions with a viewable operation called a diff. If there has been a change from previous commits, Git stores a new snapshot in the repository. What are the benefits of Git? Historical change tracking. You can review a graph of how your commits have changed over time, see when and by whom changes were made, and revert to a previous commit if needed. This history makes it easier to identify and fix bugs. Work as a team. You can easily share your code with teammates for review before you commit or merge back to the main working branch. Additionally, the branching and review capabilities enable simultaneous development. Multiple people can work on the same file and resolve differences later. Improve team speed and productivity. Git makes it easy for your team to track changes to your code. Now you can focus on writing code instead of spending time tracking and merging different versions across your team. Additionally, Git performs computations and stores your main repository locally, making it quicker on most operations than a centralized version control system. Availability and redundancy. Git is a distributed version control system, meaning there is no single central place where everything is stored. In a distributed system, there are multiple backups in the event that you need one. This approach also means that you can work offline and commit your changes when you are ready. But let's go back to our problems. I will make this session interactive, so you can easily follow me. And we will start by creating a new folder for a very special project. And here we would like to initialize git bash, initialize our Git repo. So I would like to initialize it. git init, and would like to create a new file which is called counter, in which I would like to set some values from 1 to 6. All right, a new file is created, and it includes the numbers from 1 to 6. I'm going to create my initial commit and adding all the changes to stage. Git add and git commit initial commit. If I check git log, I can see that the first commit is created and is stored in our Git history. All right. Let's go back to our presentation. So the first case I would like to show you, the first problem we would like to discuss is when you modified a local file and don't want to actually. So I want to undo the changes I made locally. In this situation, we are using git checkout -- file name and type. But wait, isn't checkout used for switching branches? Why we are not using something like discard or reset or some other commands that sounds more like I'm trying to undo something? Actually, the command should look like git checkout, then branch name. But by omitting the branch name, Git assumes that I mean the current branch. So this replaces your changes file with a version that is currently on your current branch or head. Let me show you. Let's go back to our demo and I will modify all these changes, all these values here. We'll add some letters instead of numbers. If I check git status, I can see that the file is modified. And if I introduce git diff and push, I have push the button, I see that there are some changes, so I modified numbers and put letters instead. All right. If the changes are not staged, I can easily use git checkout, and I can use git checkout all, and in this case I will reset all the changes to my head, to git head, and now I'm going to use the file name just to select this file, and that's it. So git status, I can see that there are nothing to commit. I'm checking the file and the changes are still from the head. So nothing was added new. All right, so let's move next. And here I would like to show you the problem when you did a spelling mistake in commit message, or if you got to add some additional changes. In this case, you can easily use git commit -- amend. And this command actually is a convenient way to modify the most recent commit, and it lets you combine stage changes with the previous commit instead of creating an entirely new commit. You can add or remove changes from git staging, and applying amend commit will add these changes from stage to your previous commit. But actually, amending does not just alter the most recent commit, it replaces it entirely, meaning the amended commit will be a new entity with its own ref. So Git will look like a brand new commit for Git. Be cautious when using it. especially when you're using it for commits shared with your other teammates. In this case, amending a commit will potentially require confusing or merge conflict resolutions. Let me demonstrate you this case. I would like to modify my file by introducing some additional numbers from 0 to 9. All right. So in this case, I actually want to count from 0 to 9 instead of initial commit or something like that. I want to add the modifications to stage. And if I check Git status, I can see that they are staged and ready to be amended. With git amend, commit, amend, I would like to skip this prompt, just not modifying the commit message. I see that git log, let's see it. I can see that I still have the message initial commit. And if I check git status, I see there are nothing to commit. Git k, I visualize my initial commit, but the changes are already changed, so it is from 0 to 9. All right, but if I want to modify the message, I would like to use git amend --message and let it be count from 0 to 9. I'm checking my Git history, Git log, and I see that the message is changed already, but the commit reference, commit number is changed as well. So it is actually a new commit. So be careful using it if the change is already pushed to remote repository. Not get your colleagues angry on you. All right, let's continue. So let's suppose that you don't want to modify just the last commit with amend, but you want to modify other than last commit. So you suddenly understood that you are on the wrong way already with your commits locally. In this case, you can use git rebase to modify older or multiple commits, and with a combination interactive mode, you can easily squash your commits or change the commit history or edit your commit and then add the changes, amending the changes you just made. So it's really powerful command. I will show you. So let's suppose that here I would like to add some additional changes. So it is already count from 0 to C. And as I promised you, I would like to add a nice picture of my cat accidentally. As I promised you from the beginning of the session. So, all right, I accidentally added a picture of my cat. I don't know how it happened, but I would like to demonstrate to you that you accidentally forgot to use git status and haven't noticed that a nice picture of your nice cat was added to a repo. In this case, you just use git commit or git add because you don't care, you haven't checked the git status, and that git commit, and it was count from 0 to B or C. All right. After that, you decide to, I don't know, to add something here, just 0, 0. All right, you made some modifications and you want to add them as well. Git add all and then git commit. Some important changes. Let it be like that. All right. And if you use git k, you see that there are 3 commits added to a repo, and one of them consists, or with one of them was added a picture of your cat, but you want to undo that. How can you do? What can you do? In this situation, you can use git rebase, and you know that the shit happened, or Git happened, sorry. Git happened 2 commits ago. Git rebase interactive. In this commit actually, and you want to not to pick it or drop it because there are some other important changes, not only picture of your nice cat, but there are some other important modifications there. You want to edit this commit while rebasing it. All right. So you see that the rebase operation stopped here on commit you decided to edit. And you can make some modifications. Sorry, Alice, I would like to delete your picture from here. And if you check git status, you can see that the picture of your nice cat is removed. And you would like to add these changes. And git commit and add these changes to this commit. When we use git rebase -- continue, and it is successfully rebased. So if we check git k, if we check our history and checking the commit, we edit our picture of our cat. I see no changes here because we already modified the changes with git rebase. All right. Let's move next. The next case I would like to share with you is when you need to undo local commits. You should easily use git reset as a solution. And there are 3 parameters git reset provides you. There is a parameter soft, mixed, and hard. I will demonstrate you all 3 options. So let's suppose you modified your counter and added some stupid things. Git add all, git commit -m, sorry dash, and let's do it like stupid changes. If you check the history, you see that there are some stupid changes in your history and you don't want them to be here. All right. In this case, I can use git reset, and the first option I would like to use is git reset soft. So with git reset soft, if you check git status, you see that, oops, I forgot the important things. So with git reset, you should mention to which commit you would like to make this reset. I would like to make that make the reset, the commit, one commit from GitHub. All right, I made it. I'm checking Git status. I see that actually Git log. From history, I see that this commit was reset, but my changes still persist in staging. If I do git commit stupid changes, I can put them again on place. Git log. All right. Let's check git reset with option mixed. Option mixed actually resets the commit, git status, but oops, I did it again. So git had one commit, go. All right, and if I check git status, oops, status, not star, but status, I see that I have the modifications reset in unstaged state. All right, let's suppose that I accidentally use git reset, but used git hard reset. And if I check git status, my modifications, I see that there are nothing to commit. Oh my god, what I done just now. Git log. Let's check the git history. There is no commit. Oh my god, I just removed some important things. So if somebody says you that you should never ever use git reset hard, probably they are right, because in this case you're losing your changes forever. But who told that there is something that which is for forever, right? If you made git reset hard, you can always use git reflog and then git cherry pick to undo your changes to pick the commit you just lost. So git reflog is a mechanism Git uses to record updates applied to tips of branches and other commit references. Reflog allows you to go back to commits even if they are not longer persist in your Git history. Every time your branch tip is updated for any reason, a new entry will be added to your Git reflog. And it is important to note that the Git reflog only provides your changes to be recovered on your local repository, and it has the expiration date. So you can address to these changes with Git reflog, which were made 90 days, and no longer than 90 days by default. All right. I will demonstrate you Git reflog here. So let's suppose that we used reset hard and would like to use Git reflog to see the commits which were lost just forever. Sorry. All right. So I would like to recover not stupid changes, but I see some important changes. So in this case, I would like to use git cherry pick to put some important changes in place. Here we go. With git log, let's check our history, and I see my important changes are back. Whew. So yeah, but actually, with all these examples, I showed you that we can easily change the Git history, and there is nothing stressful in here, so we always can address to Git reflog just to see all commits we made, we created, and we can easily recover our state, which is saved in Git reflog. But what if we change the Git history? In these cases, we should always use Git push force to change this history in our remote repository as well. And there are a lot of situations when you're working with your colleagues on the same branch. I don't know why, but there are some cases. And in this case, when you use Git push force, you can face with pull conflict. So if you face with your pull conflict, trying to pull the changes to your local repository, there are some strategies you can use. So the first strategy, when you face with a pull conflict situation, and your changes, local changes, are not important and you can easily remove them, you can use git reset to the commit which conflicts with the remote commit or remote changes. You make git reset till the commit which has the conflicts, and after that you're making git pull and there are no git pull conflicts anymore. Another case, you can just merge the changes and create an ugly commit in your Git history, which is not really good. Or you can now use Git rebase, so you can import the pull operation and use Git rebase with your origin branch, and after that you can easily pull the changes, and that's it. Problem is fixed. So, to wrap up all the information I gave you, I would like to say that Git is a very important tool used in software development because of the advantages it provides. And we should not be afraid of using all its power. Hope this session added some more useful comments to your Git list and was really helpful for you. Good luck with Git. Thank you.
Hello, Liuba.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for your topic about Git mistakes. In my opinion, it will be very useful for DevOps who work with Git on basic level. I can remember me personally when I started work with Git, when in hard situation, I copied all data into temporary documents, removed my repo, cloned it again, and worked with fresh repo when I have a lot of difficulty with Git rebase, yes, and other advanced things, yes.
Yeah, I think that everybody faced with such a situation when we had to copy our Git folder just to not lose accidentally our changes, or when we had to start our work from the beginning because we used some commands from Stack Overflow. That's why I decided so these examples, even from my experience, inspired me to prepare such a session. Yeah, I hope it was helpful and added some useful comments.
Yes. Do you have a situation when you destroyed your repository completely in your life, in your work? You need to be
I
restored
can't
from the top.
remember. No, I think I was really careful. So not such experience in my life, but yeah, who knows? Because Git happens, and who knows?
Yes. Okay, and we have one question. You also mentioned Stack Overflow, but questions. What resources would you recommended for learning Git in an advanced mode?
Well, the first
Recently,
source, yeah, the first source should be, of course, Git documentation. It is really great explained, but there are a lot of information there. We do have I will post probably some links for bloggers. For example, at Experience, there are a lot of engineers who adore Git and who writes blog posts. We have Rob Boss, who shares his DevOps experience and experience using Git and GitHub platform. So I will post some useful links in Discord just to provide you some sources of inspiration. But of course, Git documentation, some blog posts. Yeah, nothing comes up.
Okay, I don't see other questions this time. But you can continue the conversation in our Discord.
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much for your attention, and hope you enjoy the rest of
See you in
the
Discord.
conference. Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.